Hi everyone, and welcome to your pre-recorded video for this week on Thursday, May 22nd. I am recording this for you a day early as I will be at graduation ceremony for Claire on Thursday at 7 p.m. So as this video is going live for all of you, be thinking about me, as I'm sure it's going to be a very emotional time with it being my youngest and graduation and all that good stuff. So anyway, that is why I am not live with you this week. I am taking it all in with her and all of the lasts that we've had lately, with it being dance recital last weekend, prom last weekend, concert the week before. She had a senior walk through all of her old schools that she attended, or previous schools. It's just been a lot of stuff going on. So anyway, I will hopefully be live with you all again the following week. Well, I'll be honest, it's probably going to have to be a pre-recorded video then as well, as it will be the night before getting ready for Claire's open house. So this week and next week are probably going to have to be a pre-recorded video, but I promise you all I will be back live with you the first week in June, and I appreciate your patience and your understanding. And as I always tell all of you, family first. And so I practice what I preach, and I am doing the same thing with the family first. Because again, shortly after Clara graduates, we have her open house on May 31st. And then my other daughter, Natalie, leaves for Florida for 7 months the week after that. So anyway, lots going on in our house. And so I'm just asking you guys for patience and understanding, and I appreciate it all very, very much. So tonight I'm going to be sharing with you the Framed Scenes bundle. Now, what you're going to be seeing me showcase tonight is a class that I am offering the month of May. And I do have a registration link that I will be posting and sending out to you if you are interested in purchasing this class, okay? This bundle, though, is pretty amazing. This bundle is only $38.50, and I love it. Look at these awesome images on this stamp set. You have like a road in the woods, you have a tree house, you have like a little cabin, the bridge, like a bridge with water underneath of it, and of course the lighthouse. So if you like lighthouses, you are going to want to definitely get the Framed Scenes bundle. Again, it's only $38.50. Very reasonable bundle compared to some of them that can be upwards of $60. And then the dies that you get in here, again, it's called Framed Scenes. I love these, but look at these cute little frames that you get for being able to make your pictures look like they're in frames. And so I'm really liking these as well. Okay, so these are all of the dies that come with it. And again, it makes it a very, very reasonable bundle. Now, the paper that I chose to pair this with is a carryover paper. I think it's called Country Wood or Country Lace, something like that. But it's a carryover paper that was in our annual catalog, and it carried over into our new annual catalog. Now, if you're going to be trying to find this bundle in our catalog, stop looking. You are not going to find it there. This bundle is an online exclusive and is available by viewing it in the online exclusive section of our website at stampinup.com. Okay, so that's where you're going to have to look for this bundle, and you can also make sure that you order it. So let me move all of my cards out of the way, because again, I don't want you guys to see everything all at once. And I'm going to wait and do our sharing when I am back in person with you. It's so much easier to do it that way, but I do encourage you to like and share my video. I always appreciate those of you that do that for me. And so with that, I'm going to start showing you the first card that I'm going to make with you all here tonight. So this is the one using like the little cottage, or you could call it a church if you wanted to. It kind of looks like stained glass windows there too. So you can kind of get creative with it. Now, when I colored my cards tonight, I'm not going to color with you because I don't want to take the time to do that. But when I colored my cards, I used the same colors for all of the cards. So I can tell you that I used this color on the house, or on the roof, is the light Calypso Coral. I used Granny Apple Green. I used Daffodil Delight. I used smoky slate. So I use the same 4 or 5 sets each time because it just makes it a little bit easier and more affordable if you're going to be wanting to purchase all of these things to make some of these cards on your own. Now, if you do purchase my class, you will also get a tutorial emailed to you with instructions and cutting measurements as well. So you'd be able to then duplicate these cards and make more of them on your own if you purchase the bundle. Okay, so for this first card tonight, we are going to use the Mossy Meadow for my card base. And I'm just going to fold that in half. This is a 5.5 by 8.5 piece of cardstock. And then I have a 5 1/4 by 4 piece of the Designer Series paper. And look how that just makes it look really, really rustic. If you want to use the wood grain, you could. I really liked this one on the other side here. So let me adhere this down real quick. So I'm just going to add a little bit of adhesive. I do have another refill here because I have a good feeling I'm going to be running out tonight as I'm working on my video with you all. Then I have this handy dandy little frame. This is the die that you saw me show you just a little while ago. And the neat thing is then you can cut a piece of paper just a little bit bigger. And again, if you purchase my tutorial, you will have all of the measurements so you'll know what the size of this is. And then you just adhere this behind there and you're making it look like it's a little framed art. Now, what I did in advance for all of you tonight is I did do some sponging on this. So you can see here that I sponged in crumb cake on the bottom, and then I used on balmy blue on the top to do a little bit of sponging using our blending brushes to kind of give that a really awesome look, okay? From there, I colored it. Now again, I'm not going to take the time to color it tonight, just to save a little bit of time with my video. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to add a little bit of adhesive on the ends of this frame, and it's just going to be enough to adhere this down to it. So I'm just going to lay this down. Let me move this over here, and I'm just going to lay this down and kind of frame it in the best I can there. There we go. Okay, so it just kind of frames it in perfectly. You're going to make sure you adhere that down good. And then I did adhere this whole thing down with some Stampin' dimensionals. So I'm just going to bring in my dimensionals and I'm going to put them here in the 4 corners. And then we are going to adhere this down to my card. Okay, so I'm just going to take off the backings here. And it's okay if you have this a little bit crooked on the back. You can tell mine is crooked. No one is going to even see it. They're only going to see it from the front, okay? So, and I glued mine in there even kind of messy. So just going to kind of put this up near the top a little bit. And then I stamped the hello there. So because the stamp set does not have any sentiments, you're going to need to find one that you want to use that does have the sentiments. So I don't even know off the top of my head which one we used, but you can use any stamp set that you have for the greetings and sentiments. So mine just says hello there, and I am going to, let me dig out my scissors here. This is on a 3/4 inch strip of the crumb cake cardstock, and I'm just going to trim off my edges there, and this is just going to get adhered down on here to the bottom. Now, I did use some of our linen thread on some of these cards tonight. I'm not going to use it, though, to show you. You'll see it in the sample. But you could have done some of the techniques you're going to be seeing me do with that. Oh, I got that cut really crooked. Can't have that. There we go. You could use that on these other cards as well. Okay, so from here, all I did was add some coloring, but look how that coloring just makes the card pop. Isn't that pretty awesome? So this is a really great card. Now, this could also be used if you didn't want it to say hello there. It could be used for a sympathy card, a get well card, a birthday card, a retirement card. So you get the gist. And these are really good masculine cards because so many times you don't have good masculine cards. So sometimes what I like to do, and I may even do that tonight, is leave the cards blank, and then as I need them, pull one out. If I need like a masculine sympathy card, you know, I want to send it, let's say someone lost his wife or something, I can then quickly add the sentiment to the card, and I've got one that's just going to serve the needs and the purpose of what I need it to do. So just a little tip there as well. Okay, so that is card number 1. The next card that I'm going to share with you is this one right here. And this one uses the road, the winding road through like the little, maybe an old dirt road is what it kind of reminds me of out in the country. And for this one, I used different colors of greenery for the trees. I wanted the trees to pop. You can see I also did the crumb cake stamping on the bottom, the balmy blue on the top. Colors of ink that I used are the smoky slate. I used granny apple green. I used shy shamrock. So this is shy shamrock. I used, I think it was old olive. And then I did use some lemon lime twist to make that little bush pop. But you can see the different colors of green just kind of do indeed that. It just makes it really, really pop. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fold my cardstock. This is the Early Espresso. I'm going to fold it in half. It's a 5.5 by 8.5 piece of cardstock. And then I have a 5 1/4 by 4 piece of the same color, the Early Espresso cardstock. And this is, the embossing folder for this is the Well Worn, I believe it is called. And so this I'm just going to adhere down to my card base. And I like the different looks of the embossed on this card, because what I did then is I cut out one of these frames, and you can see it includes that awesome little frame look. But look how pretty that is against this other embossing folder. So I really, really like that. So same thing we're going to do here. We are going to, I have this little stamped scene. We're going to do the same thing here. We're just going to adhere it on the inside. Now, the other thing you could do if you don't like to adhere on that is you could also add the adhesive along the outer edge of this. But you got to get really, really close to the outer edge. Otherwise, you're going to have problems, okay? And then we're just going to adhere this down to the middle. You can always turn it over and look and see if you're close, which I am close. So I'm just going to kind of move it over where I want it and push it down, okay? And then this is going to go onto, and then I got a little bit of adhesive on my paper. There we go. Again, it's going to go on here with dimensionals, but it's the same color. So doesn't that just kind of look awesome against that? So I'm going to add 4 dimensionals here, one to each of the 4 corners. And then we're going to add our sentiment, and then the same thing with the coloring. You can color it later on your own, or you can just leave the sentiment off, which is what I might do on these, because I always sometimes need a good masculine card and don't have time to make one, and then I would have one that I could just add something to later. But on my sample for my class, I did stamp and put on there the just because I just thought that that was kind of a nice saying. And that is a good one that you can use for all kinds of different occasions as well. Sorry, guys, I'm getting the glue off my paper. It rubs right off, luckily. All right, so that is card number 2. All right, so the next card that I'll be sharing with you, and this one I used some of the Designer Series paper scraps, but I really, really thought it was cute how this worked out. And this one I chose to not do any coloring on it. I chose to do no coloring whatsoever. So for this one, I used the Mossy Meadow for my card base, and I'm just going to fold this in half right here. And then I have a piece of the 5 1/4 by 4 Designer Series paper. And first when I did that, I was like, ew, not sure I'm digging those colors together. But after I got moving with this and adding other things to it, I really, really liked it. You can see on this card, I used the oval that is part of those frames to be able to use it on the card, where I stamped the lighthouse and then cut it out with that die. So this I'm just going to adhere down to the middle. And then I have 2 pieces of Designer Series paper. Now yours may be a little bit different. If you get it, you can see I use different patterns. I get creative, you guys, and use all of the Designer Series paper as possible to save a little bit of money on buying additional paper and to make sure I'm using all of it. The neat thing I always like to tell my customers when they come to my class and they get something a little different is no one is going to see my sample. So all they're going to see is what you are making. So it's going to be beautiful because it's something that you're making for them. Next I did is I did the stamping on, I cut out one of the, using the framed scenes dies, I cut out one of the ovals, and then this I'm just going to adhere down with dimensionals. So you can see there that I did indeed stamp it using the Memento black ink. And again, we're just going to adhere this down to my card like this. Now, this one, I did make it as a thanks, and you can see I added a little bit of linen thread under there. For that technique, all I did was I did it where I wrap it around my fingers and I take it off and then I twist it and glue it down. I know you've seen me do that many, many times, and then I just kind of spread it apart. So, but I do not have any linen thread out, and I don't feel like getting up to go get it. And so we're going to just make them without, because I don't really think that you need it. I think they're beautiful just the way they are, even if you don't use the linen thread. Okay, so I'm going to add my thank you down here, because I do need a couple masculine thank you cards. And voila, there you have it. I can see, though, that I did not cut that the greatest, so I'm going to fix that. Here we go. If I can get in there and not move it around too much. There we go. So now it looks a little bit better. Okay, so there you have it, guys. My third card. Okay, my fourth card is probably my favorite. It's probably the class favorite card as well. And maybe it's because it's blue and lighthouses. I don't know. But this is the card that everyone really, really liked when they were at my class to make this on Monday night. So for this one, I chose to use the card base of the Early Espresso again. And I'm just going to fold this in half. And then I have a 5 1/4 by 4 of the Misty Moonlight. And this also is embossed with that same embossing folder, the well-worn embossing folder. And I'm going to go ahead and adhere this down to the card like that. And then you have the Designer Series paper. It has a little bit of a blue hint to it, which I thought made this really pop nice and look beautiful. And so I'm going to go ahead and adhere this down as well, like that. All right, and then once again, yes, you guessed it. We have a beautiful frame, and then we have the lighthouse that's going to go behind it as well. So same kind of thing. You're going to just cut this. They're all going to be the same size to kind of go inside of there, and that's kind of cool, right? So I'm just going to add a little bit of adhesive to this frame again, and then we're going to add in the lighthouse, okay? So we're just going to kind of go like this, and then I'm just going to bring this up from behind here and put it in there like that. Nothing fancy at all. Okay, we're going to do the same thing with this one. We're going to add some dimensionals to the 4 corners of this. So dimensional, 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 and we're going to take off the backings. While I'm working on this card, I also wanted to let you know that the Stampin' Up! Join promotion that I've been talking about that is going on through the end of May, so you only have a few more days left, ends May 31st, but you can pick $165 of product, and all you pay is $99 plus tax. So it's a really good deal. One that I really encourage you to consider taking advantage of if you've ever been part of my team before, or even if you've been thinking about it, or if you know somebody else who might be interested in doing it. It's a great deal and a great way to get stuff for free. So you'd get over $65 in free product. Look at that. That would be 2 of these bundles that you could get, one for yourself and one to give a friend pretty much for free. But anyway, I hope you consider joining. It's a great opportunity. If you have any questions about it or need help with the process, please reach out. I'm happy to help you do that as well. This card you can see here on my sample, I did do the twine the same kind of way. You can see the different colors that I used to create this. Now this one has 2 different colors of sponging on it. So the very bottom I chose to use the balmy blue, and this color right here I chose to use Pool Party. So you can see it looks a little bit different than the normal, using the light brown and then the balmy blue. Okay, so again, the final thing you're going to do is then color this card with your blends, and voila, you have another beautiful card. Okay, so the last one that I am going to share with you today is this one right here. So again, I tried to use all of the different stamps from the stamp set to kind of give you an idea on how you can use them. I don't think I did one with the bridge, but that's okay. I ended up doing 2 lighthouses because we all love lighthouses. At least we do in my family. Okay, so this one we're going to go ahead and fold the Pool Party in half. Okay, so I'm just going to fold this in half like that. And then I have a 5 1/4 by 4 piece of the Designer Series paper. Let me fold this over. That's just going to get adhered to the front of this card. Again, it's just part of that same Designer Series paper that was carried over from our annual catalog last year. And then I just have a little piece of this one's really quick and simple. A little piece of, what color is this? It's getting late on a Wednesday night and I'm getting tired. Early Espresso, there we go. Just going to glue that down to the middle. And then here's the tree house. Again, you can see in advance I have done my blender pens or blender brushes and added some crumb cake and then some of the pool party up there. Or you could also use the blue, balmy blue, totally up to you. You can kind of get creative with that. You can see the colors that I used are identical to all the other colors that I've been using in my thing here. So it's the Granny Apple Green, it's the Smoky Slate. I used probably the Crumb Cake Dark, I'm trying to think here, the light Calypso Coral. So all those things I used. This one I used the word celebrate. And so this could be like a birthday. It could also be a celebrate. It could also be a good retirement if you don't want it to actually say happy retirement or whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and add a couple of dimensionals down here to that. And then this is going to go ahead and get added down here to my card like that. So you kind of get the idea. And aren't those cards gorgeous using that designer series paper? So let me bring in all of my cards that I designed here for you guys tonight. And again, this is a class that is currently open for registration. Please private message me if you have any questions or would like to sign up for this, and I can get that information sent out to you. How my classes work is everything comes already cut. So you would make 10 cards, 5 of each design, you make 2 of each one. And again, it would include all of the supplies to assemble your cards except for the adhesive. And obviously you need your own scissors and things like that. So please let me know and reach out if you have any questions. You can also purchase this amazing bundle for $38.50. So again, this is the Framed Scenes bundle, and you can purchase it for $38.50 from my online store. If you just go to stampinup.com and then search for a demonstrator and search for Kim Vogel, it'll give you a link for you to be able to shop directly from me. So anyway, thank you all so very much. If you have any questions about this amazing bundle or this class or anything in general, please do not hesitate to reach out. I am going to ask for a little bit of forgiveness if it takes me a little bit to get back with you, as I do have tons of family things going on that I am just going to relax and enjoy. But not just that, I've really truly been busy. Like, I don't even know if I've had time to hardly check my email the last couple days. So anyway, thank you all so very much for joining me tonight. And again, I apologize for not being live with you. You're going to get about another week, I think, of me not being live. So last week was me on vacation, so there was not a live. This week there is a live, but I do have next Thursday family coming into town for Claire's open house on Saturday. We'll be doing some last minute cooking, I'm sure, and taking things and packing it in the car to take to the hall to decorate the hall. So I just know that I won't be able to be live on Thursday, but I will be able to do a pre-recorded video for you on Wednesday, and it will post on Thursday the same as it did this week. All right. Thank you all so very much for your understanding. And again, I hope that you've enjoyed the projects that I've made with this awesome bundle, and I hope you consider adding it to your collection for all of your card making and stamping needs. Have a great evening, everyone, and I'll see you soon. Bye.